welcome to another episode of the Tippedballs podcast. I am your host, Sam Randazzo, and I am joined by my two pretty bright-eyed co-hosts. To my right, it is the one, the only, Uncle Sam.
Good evening.
And to my left, it is none other than our very own Mr. Zolo, Mike Palazzolo.
Bless.
I love the anticipation between you two on the bless now is just unprecedented. Behind the computer, absolutely balancing his own baseball bat, it is Bruce, the tugboat Venditti.
How you doing?
Bruce, how the fuck are you today?
Balancing your volumes right now because you guys are really loud.
Well, it's because we're amped up. We're ready to go. Because we have an interview today. We're ready. We are excited.
Going up and down.
Every time Bruce touches himself, it's pink on white crime.
Well, see, here's the thing, because Uncle Sam will start the day with the microphone here and then end the day with the microphone here.
That's right.
So
That's what I do.
Bruce's job is actually rather difficult. But outside of that, how are you today?
Quite all right.
I asked Bruce how he was first today. Oh, you're going to balance it now? That's it? Good luck with that one. Uncle Sam, how the hell are you today?
I'm great. Living the dream. Happy to be alive.
I love the fact that we don't have the hat again today. Have you accepted this now? No hat?
No, I'm gonna wear a hat.
No, I like this.
I'm gonna definitely wear a hat.
I like you au naturel.
Wait for my beard to grow a little longer.
I like that we can tell when it's freshly shaven too. Your head.
Oh, yeah.
Looks really
You
good.
shaved today or
I
yesterday?
shaved this morning.
You did?
Yes.
Can I touch it?
Go ahead.
Wow.
Wow.
It's a little scratchy. It's growing back.
Wow. It grows back that 12 hours?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sure it grows back quick.
Zolo, how the hell are you?
I'm good.
So we are taking a break shortly after this. We are going to be away for Memorial Day weekend because we have talked enough.
Because we have two guys that are going on vacation. Why are you bullshitting it?
No,
That too.
mine's work.
His is technically
Mine's
Yours
work,
is
trust
work?
me.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're a dog?
I don't want to go.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Mozambique, Eswatini, and Lesotho by way
What's
of
Mozambique?
Mozambique it's above South Africa, goes like this, like the southern tip of Africa, South Africa, and then right here in the Indian Ocean across from Madagascar is Mozambique.
Are you going to Madagascar?
No.
No?
No.
Can
I'd
you
like
give me a dragon and bring it home? I want a Komodo dragon. Can you bring me one home?
It's funny you say that. We're actually sending a group to Komodo Island in October.
Yeah, I want you to bring me back a dragon.
Why don't you just go to Komodo Island and steal your own
And
dragon?
wrestle-
Indonesia is
dragon?
supposed to be
Yeah.
very cool. What you do is you go to Bali, you do the whole Bali thing, and then you could take a day trip and sleep overnight on a boat and go to Komodo Island. And it's supposed to be
I'm joking. I'm not ever fucking doing that. I don't like lizards or bugs.
Can I ask you a question? Would you, outside of Mexico, because we all know eventually you will be there, would you leave the country to go anywhere?
No.
No.
Have you been to Mexico already before?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyways.
I'm never leaving the good old USA.
You may have noticed that we are not live today. That is because we are doing an interview with Arizona Cardinals defensive lineman Dante Stills, who we are very excited to talk to this afternoon. Other than that, like I said, we are going on a small vacation. We will be back at the beginning of June. Don't worry, we're coming back. It is not going to be a 2-month hiatus like before, but that 2-month hiatus brought you this set that every single person we have interviewed so far has loved.
Yes. And guess what? We're going to have Mike take Leon to Komodo Island and leave him there.
Amen. Amen.
You hear that, Leon?
And there's no comment section, so you can't say anything.
Right, he can't bitch back.
That's it. He can't say shit.
So, I don't want to waste any more time. Let's get right into it. Without further ado, I would like to introduce Arizona Cardinals defensive lineman Dante Stills.
What's up?
Welcome to the show, Dante. We're real excited to have you here today. We got some good questions for you. Unfortunately, we like to ask the hard-hitting questions, so we're going to go deep. We're going to dive deep today. So let's get it started. Outside of, obviously, the guys in your family, who are some other influential guys that really got you into football young? And when you were a kid, was the ultimate dream to, like, follow in your dad's footsteps and get into the league?
So what's crazy? I do. This is a vivid memory because I'll always remember this. So I was 8 years old. I was I was into soccer before football. So I didn't start playing until football until I was like 7, 8. So I was into soccer, kind of like just doing that whole thing. And then I was at the football field while they were practicing, like with all my friends, like other friends that just wasn't playing. And one of the coaches, Dion Dobbs from Fairmont, he asked my mom if we wanted to play, and I didn't really a second guess, saying like no, like I just said yes, right off the bat. So that just looking back, back at that time, I kind of like I thought he's one of the reasons why I did start, just because like he asked my mom to kind of ask to play. But I had a lot of coaches growing up, especially when I started playing. Like that's when like all the coaches, kind of became like my like extra dad, I guess you could say, because I feel like coaches are like another one of your dads because you're with them all the time. So I had plenty of coaches that kind of helped me along the way. So for sure.
Did you say you played soccer?
Yeah, So
You have to be the biggest soccer player recorded to man. That's 6'5", like 290. And
like it was very brief. I wouldn't say it probably wasn't more for like 2 months, 2.5 months. It was kind of like just kind of just getting into sports. And then my mom was like, "Hey, we're gonna play football." So I said, "Okay, let's do this."
Yeah, it was just a quick in and out there on the soccer.
So
yeah, quick.
Real quick, did you spend most of your childhood in Fairmont, or did you bounce around anywhere else? So
yeah. So I was born and raised in Fairmont, West Virginia. I lived there my whole life. I lived in West Virginia pretty much my whole life until this last May. When I came out here. So So I've been a West Virginia my whole life. That's kind of been like because it's such a small state that like the pride that you take in it, it goes the extra way. It's just because Fairmont, there's not a lot of guys that kind of get to the next step. So I just wanted to inspire good people for sure.
So were you a fan of any team any NFL team in particular growing up in West Virginia? Because I know it's you could be a fan of the Browns, you could be a fan of your dad's teams, you could be a fan of the Commanders, Redskins. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so I was a fan of my dad's teams growing up because everybody was resident in West Virginia. They're all Pittsburgh fans, like the Steelers fans. So, but my family didn't like the Steelers. Like we what I'm saying. But like just growing up, I didn't really like think any of it. But my dad played for Baltimore, so that's when it kind of like, okay, Baltimore was my favorite team, and then obviously that rivalry, Baltimore and Steelers. So I used to watch that all the time. So stuff like that. But I wouldn't say I had like a team where I was like, oh, like that's my all time ever. But
So jumping back to this West Virginia pride, obviously you went to school at West Virginia as well. You were a West Virginia Mountaineer, and you played alongside your brother there. What was that experience like playing side by side with your brother?
I can't even put into words, honestly. That was probably another feeling that we talked about since we were kids, the kind of just being in the house, in middle school, high school, just talking about just playing at the next level. At one point, like, I didn't know where I was going to go at one point. I was kind of, contemplating on, leaving, kind of going somewhere else. But just being, at West Virginia in front of the fans, not my family, fans, friends. I mean, being on the field with my brother was probably one of the best times of my life, just because, I grew up with him. I know everything about him, knew everything about me. So, yeah, it's my big brother.
Ultra competitive. Who was better, you or your brother?
You can't do this.
Come on now. Come on, tell us the truth.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. So, I feel like me and my brother are two different players. So, because I can't give an answer on who's better, just because like I feel like he does a lot more things better than I did, and I do things that he can't. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to say that. But I mean, but
You guys
compared,
argue who was better?
not really. I guess one thing that we kind of stayed away from, kind of just like that competition. But obviously, like brotherly, like competition, we'll do that. But when it comes to other people, kind of like, or who's better, we kind of try to avoid that because, like, I don't want no like. So.
That's a good guy right there, because it'd been real easy to say, "Oh yeah, I'm way better than my brother."
Listen, I was always better than my brother.
And that's why he's asking, is because he was always better than his brother, and he thought he was going to get the same answer.
And the thing is, so like, I'm sorry. One thing that I don't have that my brother has is, well, two things: is this is All American and Big 12 Player of the Year. No, he was a lineman of the year. So he's got me on some accolades. So stuff like that.
Oh, you're not done. You just started, so
yeah, for sure.
There you go.
You said you were considering West Virginia, even though your whole family went there. West Virginia was under consideration. What other offers did you have? Was there anything else, anywhere else you were considering going, or?
So West Virginia was my first offer. So like that was my first experience of like an offer, because I didn't really know what an offer was. I was kind of like, I was new to the recruiting and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I definitely offer, but as the offer started rolling out, Florida was one of my top choices, and Oklahoma was my top three. West Virginia, Florida, and Oklahoma.
Was Bob Stoops still there, or was it Lincoln Riley then?
Bob Stoops was there.
Okay.
So that was a hard decision, just because I didn't know really what I wanted. I lived in West Virginia my whole life. Like I wanted to leave. I was like, should I leave? But at the end of the day, I feel like I made the right decision, just because. I feel like my career. I feel like my career would have been, I wouldn't say the same, but at the same time, like I feel like it just happened for a reason. Because like I enjoyed every moment at West Virginia and stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean that lineage is important. When your whole family goes there, you could stay in your home state. You feel pretty much right at home there, and I mean that is a big part to being comfortable, especially flying the coop, going to college, doing that whole thing. It's important to be somewhere that you feel like is at home. So if you have the opportunity to do it, that is awesome. Sticking with the West Virginia days, who are some of the guys you played with at West Virginia that you thought made you a better player and left a mark on you? And also at the same time, who are some of the guys that you really didn't like going up against?
Oh man. Players. So I would say I'm just going to name some players that I just feel like kind of brought a light to me. Is like, oh crap, like it's kind of like it's possible. It gave me motivation to kind of make those plays. Like he was so Reese Donahue. So he was the older guy. So when I first came in, he was one of the older guys in the room. So he was one of the guys that kind of did everything right, kind of did technique, everything right. So at one point, I wanted to try to imitate those techniques, stuff like that. And obviously, my brother, big part, just going through college. We had motivated each other, every day. It was and we lived with each other, so it was kind of, I saw him every day. So, it's big bro. So like, that constant communication is always there, motivation and stuff like that. And I would say, there's so many though. Because I feel like everybody that I play with just made me better. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to pick a few guys, just because I feel like everybody impacted how I played. I feel like everybody motivated me and was telling me, you can do this, even with coaches. So it's kind of hard to just, go to jump a couple, but there's a couple that I just feel like, but that was, I'm sorry, but it's kind of.
No, yeah. But the good thing about that is when you have an atmosphere and you have a whole group of guys around you that you feel like are motivating you to make you better, you're in the right spot then. And West Virginia obviously seemed like the right spot for you to keep pushing you to get to that next level. And that's truly all you can ask for out of a college experience. What were some of those days in college, like those is there any games that stick out to you as like that game that you'll always remember, that moment you'll always remember? And what was that atmosphere like, or one of those highlights, that milestone memory for you?
So there's a couple games, but I'm gonna highlight my last season. My first game of the season last year was versus Pitt. At Pittsburgh, college game day, and my first college game day. Experiencing the whole hype when it comes to a whole decade of not playing each other, kind of we're close to all that hype. That was probably the most. I anticipated games of my life just because of what I grew up. I didn't grow up liking Pitt. Just from being from West Virginia, it was kind of embedded, in my head. Pitt, all that. But that game was probably the biggest, like, it kind of eye opener for me. But the one that kind of, when I was younger, it's my freshman year. It was versus Texas. It was at Texas. It was like 100. It was like 100,000 in the stands, all orange, like burnt orange, and that game coming down to the wire was kind of just like, this is college football, So that was a big. I played a little bit, so I got to experience a little bit. So there's a lot more games I could say, but those two games were probably like the ones.
Was it 100 degrees that day in Texas?
It was a good it was probably a good 90 degrees, honestly, hit 95. So it was hot.
Oh yeah. Sticking with that, and that's a great lead into this next question. Were there any other road stadiums outside of Texas, like any other places that you played that left like a lasting impact on you, is just like, this is truly like a crazy environment?
I'll say Virginia Tech was one of them. At Virginia Tech, I feel like the Oklahoma game, at home. Collar was the QB there. That game was kind of crazy. I just feel like those early year games were probably the most intense, just because I was new to this whole college thing. So. But as I got older, I kind of avoided the crowd a little bit. I kind of went out there and just played. Okay. But yeah, because that crowd can be crazy. So
I hear you. And a starter as a freshman in college is an impressive feat. To handle that and just be able to focus in like that. That's a very unique quality there. So obviously you were drafted in 2023, round 6, pick 213 to the Arizona Cardinals. What was it like being, like you said, West Virginia born and raised, going to college in West Virginia, and then next thing you know, you're moving to the desert?
Honestly, like those 2 days were probably the most emotional days of probably in my life. Just because I worked so hard to get to that point, and I just wanted. Honestly, I just wanted to get picked. There was a point where I didn't think I was going to get picked. So. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. It was up in the air. But when I got picked, it was probably one of the best feelings. My family was there, my friends that I grew up with was there. And I'm just happy. I'm just happy they picked me, chose me. So now, I feel like it's my obligation to, go out there and handle business and do the best I can for this organization.
Tell us about your rookie season, just in general. I mean, it was a transition year for the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. Of course, it's a transition year for you in life and with your career and everything. What was year one like in Arizona last year?
I enjoyed it. Even though the season that we wanted didn't accumulate to what we wanted, but overall, I enjoyed it. I got to play pretty early. The first game I didn't play. But the second game I got to play, so it's a big eye opener from what you deal with in college is definitely way different. The speed of the game's quicker. And everybody, there's guys that you grew up watching. There's guys you grew up watching that are out there. You're like, okay, now you're here. So it really hits you once you see a guy or a QB or a big, I would say, like, for example, like an O-lineman, first, because it was Trent Williams. I was like, oh, crap, this is really Trent, But, I didn't really think about it, but after the game, I'm like, oh, crap, like, Christian McCaffrey, those guys, you kind of just look at that big picture. You're like, okay, this is real. So, I enjoyed it. I kind of, I went in there and I just try to handle business, do all I can for the organization, do all I can for my team. And it get better every game, every day, in practice. I try to get better. That's kind of my whole deal, and bring energy to the group or the team.
Welcome to the league. Here's Trent Williams for you. Is your first rep in the game?
Yeah. Oh no, well that was my first rep was versus Dallas. this kind of example, those type of guys you see on TV.
Yeah, here's Tyron Smith, first rep.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, it's definitely a very cool experience. You're out there, like, I'm here now. This is what I've worked for. Let's go. Let's ride. So.
Right. And having played in 15 games and starting 8 of them as a rookie, you walk in and it's like, hello, instant impact right into the NFL. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, your first career sack was against none other than the league's highest paid quarterback, Joe Burrow.
Yes, sir.
That must have been a pretty awesome moment. Get the first sack.
Yeah.
And especially against him in Cincinnati, right close to home.
Yeah, it was it was out here in Arizona we played them. But that was probably, that whole moment, it was honestly, I started running afterward. I was just so excited. My mom, my dad was in the stands. That was probably one of the, and it would make me cry because I'm sitting here just like, I've dreamt of this. I've dreamt of getting a sack in the NFL. I've dreamt of starting in the NFL and, just this, I'm making plays in general in NFL. So it was just a big deal. I was just very it was emotional, but, I was very happy.
One of those that's like burned in your memory forever, I'm sure. And that's awesome.
Forever.
I mean, it's awesome that the family was there to see it.
So I'm a big fan of Jonathan Gannon's. I think he's a very good coach.
Yes,
One thing I could say about you guys last year, and I know your record wasn't that great, but you guys played your ass off. And I mean, you guys were I thought you guys were totally impressive for a team that's coming in as young as you guys were, that basically you didn't have your quarterback and you guys came out and you shocked a lot of people.
Yep.
I was really, really impressed with the way you guys handled that. I mean, that took a set of man balls to do that. You guys, were playing your ass off, and I love that heart. And I want to see you guys continue that this year, because I think you guys are a sleeper. That's my opinion, and I think you're going to do pretty good things coming up here.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Have you had any conversations between some of the guys who have been there a little bit longer than you about how the regime change and Jonathan Gannon's impact on the team has changed the culture there a little bit?
I definitely talked to a lot of older guys, and there's a lot of older guys in my room. The one thing we love is just his energy. Like Coach Jonathan Gannon's energy. He's a very energetic guy. But violence and efforts, is really his thing. Like he loves when you run to the ball, play with violence. That's the kind of energy he brings in team meetings, on the practice field, and stuff like that. So, he definitely, a very high energy guy. But as a player, it makes you want to go out there, and just go crazy. So, it's very exciting.
Who are the vets on the team? Who are some of those guys that are on the team with you now that have had an impact on you and helped you make that transition into the league?
When I first came in, there was a whole different group, because I feel like this witnessing the free agency deal, everything around the league is kind of it's kind of hard to have the same guys, I guess you could say, but
It's kind of crazy.
This is a different. So I have different guys in my room, and just I feel like they're all just giving me advice every day. They always want to see me get better at what I do, and I feel like that's one of the things that they harp on as older guys. They very they want to see the young guys have success and stuff like that. So that's one thing that I really appreciate from them, because technically, I guess I'm still a rookie, that's what they say, until 4 games. So, I'm still a young guy, so I'm just taking all the knowledge I can. So for sure.
Yeah, that's smart. When you got all that knowledge in that room with you, even if it's interchanging, it's always good to soak that in. So, who is that one quarterback that's out there in the league right now that you can't wait to get your next sack against? Is it a young guy? Is it a veteran? Who is that guy that would just get you so pumped up to be able to sack?
man, I'm trying to sack all of them. I want all 32, but I mean, a lot of guys that growing up I wanted to sack aren't in the league no more. Like all the big, I'm saying those guys I wanted to really sack, but nowadays there's obviously like who we got on the schedule this year? I think we got like Josh Allen, like those guys that are like the best in the league right now. And those are the guys I kind of want to get after, just because I have respect for them. So now I want to I want to sack you now. So
Right. I want to see you crush him too.
Yeah, this year you got to do us a favor because we're from Detroit. When you play the Rams twice, you got to lay a good one on Stafford for us. So
Yeah, get Stafford.
I'll try my best. I'll try my best.
So last year during your rookie year, obviously you said the Cincinnati game was a big one for you with your first career sack. What is the environment like playing at home in Arizona? And are there any other games from last season, environment, stadiums that stood out to you as like, oh, you know what? This is an awesome place to play.
Well, the environment, I love the environment. It's definitely energetic. The fans, are, and I love the fans. Are definitely they bring the energy every home game. Because like our bench is right there, so I can hear them. I can hear all that. So, but sometimes I got locked in, so sometimes I really don't. But I feel like they bring good energy. And there's a game. I'm trying to figure out a game. There's been a couple games that were like, oh wow. Dallas game, just because my first game, so that was very that was a lot of people. I would say the Ravens game was a lot of people. I feel like that was definitely high energy. I feel like probably those two games right now. Away games, I mean I like LA. I like LA kind of whole setup, I guess.
Yeah, it's a crazy stadium.
That's a fun stadium.
Yeah, it's just it's definitely different. It's definitely different from all other teams for sure.
Real quick, we do X's and O's here from time to time. So
Okay.
for you, you're a big guy and you could kind of play a lot of positions on the line. Where do you prefer to be? Do you prefer to be in the middle? Do you prefer to be in the end? Where are you most comfortable and where do you think you can cause the most damage?
That's a good question. Yeah. I mean, I like the middle, like from like 3 tech and stuff like that. But I'm definitely comfortable, everywhere from the 5 to the 9. I wouldn't say 9 because I don't really play 9, but the 5 in to the 1 technique. I feel like I'm very comfortable because I've been doing that my whole life. So and it also just depends on kind of what we're doing. Like schematically, I'm assuming and stuff like that. But I'm comfortable everywhere. I love football. I love playing defensive line. So I just like being in the trenches. So anywhere on the line, I'm happy to be there.
Real quick, what are some goals that you have going into next season? Are there any personal, do you have a number? I know you guys don't like to put a number in your head. Like this is how many sacks I want to get. This is how many wins I want the team to get. Do you have any goals for you going into the 2024 season?
Just play cleaner football. I wasn't perfect last year. I'll never be perfect. But I definitely feel like if I just play cleaner football when it comes to technique, hands, footwork, I just feel like the stats will come. The stats, I want more than what I had the previous year. So if I had 3.5, I want. I just want more than that. So because it's kind of hard to put a number to it because if you put a number to it, you're trying to chase that, and if you don't get it, then it's kind of, stuff like that. But just my overall how I play, because there's times where I was playing sloppy, kind of out my gap, had like bad hand placement and stuff like that. So I feel like those are the things, I feel like I want to improve on the upcoming season because the plays, I don't really focus. I mean, I want to make plays, but that's not really like my main focus. I want to do my job and the plays will come to me. That's perfect.
That's what I'm talking about. A good team guy who just wants to go out there and play good, clean football. That's all you can ask for. At the end of the day, if you're playing good, clean football, nothing else really matters. Are there any matchups that you're looking forward to specifically next year? I know you play our very own Detroit Lions, so I'm going to ask you in advance. Please don't go too hard on them. But you have 2 games against both the Chargers and the Rams. You got the 49ers next year. Like you said earlier, you want to get one against Josh Allen in Buffalo. Are there any games that have a little bit of extra meaning to you?
Man. So we play. I think we play Buffalo. We play all of our conference games.
Yeah. NFC North.
I'm trying to. And I think we play Chicago. We play Miami,
New England, Detroit.
New England, Detroit. Out of those, honestly, like when it comes to like, if I don't know if we're at New England or not, but this New England, honestly, just because of the, I'm excited for that one just because, just of the history there. But honestly, anybody, like I don't really try to focus on one opponent. I try to focus on just everybody because, especially the conference guys, the conference teams, we play them twice a year. So, I'll see them twice, but the teams that I really don't see twice, I want to really handle business.
Yeah, no, that's it. Every team's the same. Every game's the same. Just go out there and get them.
What do you do when you're not playing? What's your hobbies? What's your hobbies?
That's one thing. So one thing about me, I like to relax. That's one thing because the time we get, I want to relax. I like to go to the gun range.
I hear you.
There we go.
There you go.
I've gotten into that a little bit. I started getting into that like before I came out here. I have a friend back home that loves guns and stuff like that. So he kind of got me into all that. Especially out here in Arizona, I like to go hiking. I like to just kind of see different areas of the desert, kind of point of view, stuff like that. That's one thing I've been doing, and try to find food spots. Out here there's a lot of food, so I try to find some good food spots.
Are you closer to Glendale? Or are you near all the action in Scottsdale and Tempe and downtown Phoenix? Like where do you like to gravitate towards?
Chandler. I live in Chandler. I feel like it's very chill area. I have everything I need, honestly, like within the 10-15 mile radius. So I don't really branch off unless I want to go get food and just in Scottsdale and stuff like that. Food, if you want to go shop, there's Scottsdale. I feel like everything's kind of close. It's kind of, everything's kind of compacted in an area, but it's still far if you think about it because it's so flat. It's kind of like them roads are just forever going. So,
a lot different from West Virginia.
What was that? Oh, yeah, way different West Virginia. Yes, way different. Different.
Speaking of that, so some guys have a pregame ritual or a meal. You said you love to find some new food spots. I mean, and you have 3 slightly large Italian guys here who all love to eat. What is your favorite pregame meal? What's that one? Or even if it's not pregame, what's your cheat meal and your favorite pregame meal?
Cheat meal? Ooh. My cheat meal would probably be burger or something. I love burgers. I love fries. So really anywhere you got a burger or fries, I'm there. Pre-game, especially the day before, I really don't try to eat a lot just because I don't want to be full out there and kind of still sick. So I kind of limit how much I kind of intake before games. Well, especially the day before, I carb up. I definitely spaghetti or something like that. Pastas. I love pasta. That's probably my favorite thing ever. But the game up, the day of, I don't eat a lot, but I eat enough to kind of I feel good. I feel energized. I feel powerful, and ready to go. So
that's the goal.
You can't eat pasta the day of because that will definitely take the power out of you.
Definitely
going to sit. You'll be taking a nap.
Sleep.
So this is a question we love to ask every interview that we do. because, you know, there's a story last year that a certain quarterback in the league likes to wear the same pair of underwear for every game. Does Dante Stills have any superstitions pregame, postgame, during game that has to happen on game day?
Oh, wow. So one thing I do, you know, before I get ready, I go out there on the bench and I just sit there. Like, it kind of sounds crazy. I literally just sit there and just kind of just take in the environment, just kind of try to take in the moment. I got my AirPods in or, you know, headphones on, kind of just sitting there, just going through, like, I might just feel the ground. I just want to feel the ground, kind of just get acclimated. Before games, like when it comes, for snacks, I do like grapes and stuff like that. So I eat grapes before. I might have like a bottle of water or two. You know, I'm kind of just like little stuff like that. I do have a playlist that I kind of have. Like,
Who's on the playlist? That's what my next question was. Who's in your headphones before the game?
Oh man, so there's a lot. So I have like, obviously there's like Lil Baby, there's like Lil Durk, Gunna, like Rod Wave. I got a little Rod Wave in there, even though people kind of think like he's kind of like sad and stuff. But I mean, most of his music is kind of like slow in. But because I mean, I do have some music in there that kind of slow, more beat. Because I don't like to be, I don't want to get too amped up before the game before I even get out there and have a play. I get a play and I'm gonna get too tired. So there's times where I kind of sit there, have a little chill, kind of a chill song in there, kind of to get my mind right, stuff like that. So
yeah, you got to find that happy medium between getting too amped up and like getting too calm. You know what I mean? You got to have a little bit of both.
You got to be level.
That's it. Leveled out.
There.
And we always like to end on this question. Who would be Dante Stills' Mount Rushmore of pass rushers? Past or current?
Oh man. Obviously Aaron Donald. That's I feel like that's like the, you know,
That's a good one.
It's a non-starter.
That's a good
I'll
one.
say
That's a
Aaron
good one to
Donald.
start off with.
Man, there's honestly so many, because like there's some that I idolized growing up, but there's some that are just better, you know, because I kind of have a different list like of
Your
my
guys,
favorite.
Your guys.
Oh man, so hard. So obviously Aaron Donald. I like JJ Watt.
Can't
Can't go wrong there.
JJ Watt. Man. Like I wasn't gonna say Robert Quinn, but I'm not really. That's kind of up in the air, honestly. That answer. There's so many pass rushers. This is a hard question on the spot. All right, it got me thinking. Because like Reggie White.
Yeah.
That's a great one too.
Yeah, I'm tripping. Like Reggie White. What was her name? Randall, Julius Randall.
John Randall. John Randall, baby.
I'll just watch some Nick highlights, you know, on my phone.
They need Julius Randle
He's
back.
crazy.
They need Julius Randle back right now. Everyone's injured over there in New York.
Oh yeah. You know, because they Reggie White, John Randall, you know, but like, yeah, those might be those guys. Right. As of right now, those are my guys. But there's so many more, because like when it comes to like, so I like Terrell Suggs.
Boy, yeah, my gosh.
Did your dad play with him? Did your dad play with him?
Yes, he played with, you know, Reed and Ray Lewis and all them. So
wow.
That was a crazy defense. But yeah, I feel like those are my guys right now. But it's just so many. Like, it's kind of hard to put not Rushmore. I'm just like of like pass rush tackles too.
I'm not gonna lie, that's at one hell of a list. I mean, any list with Aaron Donald, JJ Watt, and Reggie White, you really can't go wrong there.
No,
okay, cool.
That is one hell of a list.
That'll win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that'd be
easy.
Offensive lines would be in fits against that.
I'm sure Aaron Donald could play quarterback too if he wanted to. The guy was lean and quick and all that.
Anything else from either of you?
It's been a pleasure, Dante.
Thank you guys so much
pleasure
for
meeting
having
you.
me. Yes, sir.
Hopefully, you guys come here to Detroit or no?
No, they play
Lions go
Detroit
there.
in Arizona.
Oh, in Arizona.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot of Lions fans there, bud.
Well,
We're gonna be
hopefully
watching
there's
that
more
game.
Cardinals fans. Hopefully there's more Cardinals fans because I gotta see red. Gotta see red.
And hopefully you do. We can't wait to see what you do this year. We're excited to watch you again. Just go take a day off against the Lions or something. But outside of that,
I can't do that. This is my job. I can't. I can't
hope
do
you
that.
have an amazing year, a good season. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you, guys.
We'll definitely get that jersey up here pretty soon, and there's gonna be some tip ball stuff coming your way.
Sir,
Yeah,
I appreciate
we're
it, guys.
real
Thank you
excited for you guys. We wish you guys
Thank
the
you.
best.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Dante. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Well, I would say that was a pretty awesome interview with a pretty awesome guy. Thank you again to Dante. That was good talking to him today. Real cool dude.
I like Dante got great energy. Great energy.
I think he had 4.5 sacks last year he's an older rookie. I think he was 23. He's 24 now. He had 4.5 sacks, and he's on an upstart team. Uncle Sam mentioned it in the interview, but the Cardinals, are, in my opinion, are going somewhere. Yeah. And he's one of those guys where we talk about the draft all the time, and guys are filler and late round. He's a late round impactful guy. He's a 6th rounder that
started 8 games.
He's gonna he started 8 games, and he's gonna start more this year. He's probably gonna be featured this year, and good for him. I'm excited to see him, and that's good lineage he's got.
Oh my gosh, the bloodline, unprecedented.
Kid's got a lot of energy. He's a big dude too, big man.
And then we got to decide who we're going to take down from the wall here to get him up.
Oh, it's real easy.
It might be Odell Beckham.
Yeah, Odell Beckham, 10 grand.
Dante, you're replacing Odell Beckham 100%. Other than that, great interview, fun time.
Yes.
We hope you all enjoy your Memorial weekend.
Yep.
Zolo, hopefully you make it back from Mozambique unscathed.
And Madagascar.
Do you have any big meat plans for Memorial weekend? Obviously.
Oh, I'm going to be grilling. Probably about a 6 or a 7 pound butt.
Bruce will probably play about 15 rounds of golf over the next 2 weeks.
He's going to smoke more dope. He'll be like, I played 15 rounds. It was really 1.
Traveling and drinking.
Oh, where are you off to?
The Post.
What is the Post?
Damn Bet's Post on 9 Mile next to McDonald's.
That's where you're traveling to?
Traveling there.
Better be
Getting on a
careful,
party
son.
Bus and going to other
What happens at the end? I don't understand that.
$3 beers. That's what goes on there.
Amen. Amen.
I could take you to a bar over down the street here called the Blue and Gold. It'll be the last time you go to one.
Yeah,
I'll walk out of there alive.
listen, between the $3 Amvet beers and the golf fees at Chandler Park, Bruce is going to need us to come back on air. So,
Yeah.
with all that being said, enjoy your Memorial weekend. And if you haven't, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at tippedballs, TikTok at tippedballs podcast. Make sure to check out www.tippedballs.com. Go to Tip Thoughts. Read our blog posts. They are awesome. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Music, make sure to check us out on YouTube and click subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified when we go live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, sometime around 5. Unless we have an interview like we did today, we won't be live. Or unless it was a couple weeks ago on Wednesday when we did an 8 o'clock show for the Schedule Spectacular. Other than that, we're always here around 5. Thank you so much for listening. Enjoy Memorial Day. We will see you in June.